What is up, everyone? You got a smile on your face today like I do? Did you do a lot of hard work? And by hard work, I really mean kind of check the scores one time and see, oh, it's going to be one of those type of nights. And really, when it comes on a Monday, there is no better way to kind of flip Monday on its head. I mean, your average office worker, they're still a miserable Tuesday, but you're hopping into Tuesday. You're hop, skipping, and jumping thanks to Josh's Sniffs going 4-0, bringing those tea and crumpet funds right back up. You know, Josh, every once in a while, you got to pat yourself on the back, give yourself, as we like to call it, a Barry Horowitz. So, you know, pat away anything you want to do, anything, any self-congratulations you want to give yourself is more than welcome, as long as I keep getting to enjoy the fruits of your sniff. I will say, since I was working in here last night doing some stuff, I checked my phone. The one thing I happened to see was the Chicago White Sox up 3-2 in the ninth inning. And I was like, oh, this is going to be like when I would take the under 2.5 goals for the Washington Capitals, and they would win 2-0, and yet I would still cash the under on their team total. But then in classic fashion, everything's going my way. I decide to watch literally one batter, 2 outs, ninth inning. I watch one batter, and it's 3-3. I said, you know what? There's a reason I don't watch baseball. There's a reason I hate baseball. I don't need this. So I just turned it off, and I said, I'll see what happens later. Sure enough, 4-3. Who were they playing again? They were playing Texas. Yeah. And it was a sweep for you. So that was very nice to see. Quick 400 for this guy. And, you know, slow and steady, steady and slow. The opposite of parlays has brought us to the total you see on our screen. So it's been very nice. Thank you very much, my friend.
The juxtaposition is so funny of like late night bettors. Like, you know, I'm not staying up. You don't have to watch everything, right? We're past that. I mean, hockey's nice to watch, but baseball, it's like, here are your numbers. They're pretty good. There's a lot of data. You don't have to watch everything. So we cracked the first two early. I said, I'm going to bed, 10 o'clock. And then did that old man pee at like 2 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, yeah.
When you bring your phone with you.
Yeah, the Tom Hanks from A League of Their Own. It never ends. It is a true old man piss. You hear a couple joints crack on the walk to the bathroom, and yeah, you're in there a while checking your scores. It must have been
That's what it was. One hand's there, one hand's on the scores. I'm like, oh, sweet. Okay, back to bed. But those sleeps are always better to go back. A real season better. Now, we've been on a hot streak, so I wasn't afraid to go look. But, like, if you're kind of in a rut, I always suggest don't do it in the middle of the night. Don't go score watch in the middle of the night on your pee break, because getting back to bed on a losing night's never fun. But 4-0.
You got to see how I check scores, or more specifically, player props. Have you ever seen?
We're probably the same way. We're probably thumb on the screen, slowly reveal.
Dude, like how Phil Hellmuth reveals his hole cards to the camera. Exactly it's the slowest, Alex. I slowly go. I'm going to come on. I want to see no shots on goal for him this period. No shots on. Come on. And then it turns out it's not even that player. I thought it was going to be the next one down. So then I start slowly revealing to the next guy. Yeah, it's I don't know what superstition goes into that, as if it's a slow Band-Aid pull. And interestingly enough, in real life, when they say just rip the Band-Aid off, I have spent 12 minutes taking off a Band-Aid, because I literally will slowly I'm talking about a millimeter at a time. And that's how I check the results of my bets as well. So that's pretty funny.
Someone pitched it to me at Covers before. It's like a scratch and win. It's a scratch ticket. So they cover up the box score, and then you get to scratch where the overshots is, right? That sounds fun.
There is a feature, if you have an iPhone, I don't think you do actually, but if you send a text message and you before you hit send, you hold the send button, it gives you the option to send something in invisible ink, which means you scratch it exactly the way that you described. So it can be done in a way where it has to kind of be like if somebody texts you a screenshot of it. But yeah, look up invisible ink where you can kind of scratch out portions of it. That's kind of what it's like. Yeah. I don't know why that is. The slow reveal feels like it's necessary to peel off a win.
I mean, that's the return on investment, right? That's the entertainment. If you're not watching it, like it's just like raw dogging it and looking straight at the numbers is like the equivalent of some guy scratching the barcode on a scratch ticket and just scanning it instead of actually playing the game.
Yeah, you're correct. That is a perfect analogy. Now, you know how it goes. I've always felt that with the NHL videos, when I started to get hot, somebody signals off an orc horn, like, woo! And I believe people from all corners of the disgusting sports betting world, or just the world in general, they hear that somebody got hot on one of the videos, and they all flock there like a bunch of scavengers. So we may have a scavenger crowd today. Who knows? We will see. But usually when the picks start to go a certain way, word gets out there, and people are going to be, they have their monocle out looking at you like that Monopoly man tonight. So you got another 4 for us. I got them in earlier, tried to get the best prices I could, and they're all in that same kind of range as yesterday. I don't mind if it starts with a minus. I ain't scared. And I guess we're going to start off with yet another person. I mean, I know about 3 people left in the league, and this guy's not one of them. So why don't you lead us off with a nice plus money play here?
Yeah, same kind of look as we did yesterday with O'Neill. We took the Dan side with the minus 115 instead of the bases, but today we're going Soler over 1.5 bases. I think we put it out at plus 140 for those that had bet 365, but the next best price was here, Draftkings at 30, which is good. And this is just a spot where he's hitting leadoff for San Francisco, who's facing Landon Knack. For the Dodgers, who he's already faced, he's 1 for 3 against, so he has a decent rate against them in a small sample size. But there is a chance. Landon Knack's not a great pitcher. There's a chance for 5 plate appearances. That, just 5 plate appearances alone is something to bet on for over 1.5 total bases at plus money. And another thing that's not exciting, I mean, he projects for 2.2, so the projections like it, obviously, as well. He was in Colorado. He was in elevation. Yesterday was his first game. He went 0-4, but now he's back. There is an adjustment period coming back from elevation, especially how you track pitches. So now we're back on it for big plus money.
All right, so he's recalibrated today, ready to blast a double or two. Now, I just had something in my, I tried to not cut you off. I tried to be patient, and what comes with that is I have no clue what I was going to say while you were talking about that, but it had to do with, I don't know, but I'm sure that when you're talking about this next guy, that it will come back to me. Well, I do see this. I was almost surprised to see, I don't think you've ever given me a strikeouts or given out a strikeouts this high. I feel like we're always looking for under strike. Over 7.5 strike. Who is this guy? What is this?
Chris Sale. Chris Sale. So this one at minus 105, I don't mind paying the slight tax on it. The only concern is rain here. If we can get a full 6 innings out of Sale, we're good. The rain is the only concern. We're not going to see the line move significantly. There are some minus 120, minus 125, so we'll probably have a little bit of closing line value, but worth the risk in this spot. Not often you get big name guys, especially at this number, projecting well, but he's projected for 8.3, and he faces the Reds at home. The Reds' third highest K percentage this month at 26%. That is a massive number. And he's gone over this number in 10 of his last 13 starts since May 1st. So if you're one of those guys who's out there in a trend world, I think this is a good spot. And the only thing holding it back is the weather. So if the weather can cooperate, this is a good one, but worth the risk here at just 5 points.
So it's harder to strike someone out in bad weather?
It could get delayed, right? Which could take him out of the game. That's the biggest concern.
Oh, so a true bad. So not like, I guess any sort of break could be devastating to momentum. So yeah, all right, I understand that. So
he might not come back out though. So if there's a delay early in the game, so hopefully there's just early rain where they just delay the start and he still comes out and they find a spot. But where this is, where the trend is, his matchup, everything is a check. And 8 strikeouts seems like a lot, but I mean, this is the NL Cy Young betting favorite.
Oh, there he is. A regular. Everyone grew up with a guy like this.
That's a hell of a neck beard.
He's a guy that if you play, he came out. All you guys were doing something. You were having a party. But if you pulled like a practical joke on him, he was that guy. He just didn't handle it well. He got pissed off if you put some powder on him at a sleepover or something like that. That's who he is. And then he would take his frustrations out, on the hill, throwing gas. And hopefully that's what comes out tonight. So we got those first two. I remember it. It took me a full additional bet to remember what I was going to talk about. And it was because you brought up Bet365. And then many times you often say, like, I know when you give out picks on the Patreon, you're like, here's the Bet365 price. I know a lot of people don't have it. Unless I just read something incorrectly, I think they added another state this week. A real one. Well, some of these people are probably pissed off. I live in a real state. Shut up. They got Pennsylvania in there. When the Philly dirtbags are all in there now. So, you have some other city. Yeah, you got Pittsburgh. Yeah, Hershey. All those Hershey Park people now, they're going on rides, and then they're getting great 2-point line make combo parlays in the NHL. All those guys in Allentown. So, everyone in Pennsylvania, I believe I have a Bet365 promotion down below. So, if you're new to that state, you may as well take advantage of it because they probably give out some good ones. But good news for all you Bet365 people, especially when hockey comes back around, because they offer everything. They pretty much offer everything.
Have you been to Pittsburgh?
The farthest in Pennsylvania I went was Hershey Park.
Amish country, right? Have you seen the Amish?
It's like many things. It was a scam. I saw the guy change the channel on a TV in a store in the background. I was like, how does this work? I need to see the authentic butter churn, or none of it counts to me. They're cutting corners all over the place now, and I don't blame them. Because the fact that they're even mostly doing it, there's somebody who's pissed off right now. Look, how uncultured are you that you don't know the actual daily routines of the authentic Amish? Yeah, I got other things to worry about, like our fourth pick of the day, which is...
Third pick. We got Wheeler. But here's the scam for Wheeler. Wheeler's a bit of a scam. It's a good one.
I think I remember this name. Was this guy around like 15 years ago? 12 years ago?
He's been around for a while. I mean, he's one of the other Cy Young candidates for the NL. He's been around. Nice, great.
I think I grew up with this guy.
Yeah, he looks like Sale. But he projects for 5.9, so that's great. That's a really big difference than the 6.5. Minus 105, we got it. Minnesota, the matchup is great. They strike out at a bottom 4 rate this month. But the scam is this guy hasn't pitched for 2 weeks. 14 days he's been off. His last start, he threw 74 pitches. He had back spasms. Okay?
Oh, I was just talking to Alex before we started. He had a back problem last night. And what do we know about back problems? You ever hear someone say, oh, yeah, and then my lower back pain, it just went away for good. It's always there. One bad pitch. This guy's going to sound like Josh walking to that bathroom to take the piss in the middle of the night. One little twist, he's out of there. By the way, that scam worked yesterday rather easily, right? The guy you projected not to go to. Did that work out exactly? Did he come out at the exact point that you thought? He actually threw
more than I thought, but he only went 4 innings, and he was under 2, so it was pretty sweat-free. Didn't look good. We'll be looking to get him again just from where it is, and hopefully they don't adjust. But the scam is, so back issues here, 76 pitches in his last start, July 9th, over the All-Star break, didn't do too much. And he's 8-5 to the under on this number since May 1st, and that's when he's healthy and being one of the best pitchers in the NL. But there's also rain projected, so back spasms and rain, that's not a good combination for an ace for a team that is comfortably winning, that's comfortably doesn't need to push their number one pitcher hard. So his outs is at under 18.5, and I think that's a buy at like minus 180. I wasn't going to give out the minus 180, but it's 17.5 in some spots at plus money. I think this is a spot where the 6.5 is good, but there's a path where maybe there's some rain and they pull him early. So if we can keep Zach Wheeler under 95 pitches, that's a win, and hopefully.
So we need those storms to just kind of curl to the left and then back to the coast. That's what we need. We need to stay out of Atlanta and somehow swipe up there over to Philadelphia. You know, these storms these days, they take some crazy turns. So
Minnesota.
Hopefully we can get some of that.
And he's on the road. It's in Minnesota, so we're good there.
Oops. Sorry about that.
Just a bit outside.
Just cute,
Alex. That's quality, and that's not added in after the fact. That's Alex just on the money. I just wonder, as he sees, like, he has the screenshot up, he sees me talking about Philadelphia. Does he know right then and there? Like, is he just looking? What an asshole this guy is, talking about this game. It says right on the screen at Minnesota Twins. Now he's not reading it. He's an asshole. I hope Josh corrects him. Oh, there he did, and there's the clip right there.
Minnesota having an outdoor park is pretty wild to begin with, considering.
Wait, they don't have a retractable roof?
No, I think I don't think so. I know if their games are outdoor, they might have a retractable roof, but
I haven't watched in so long. I remember the Yankees used to beat them in the playoffs every single time. I'm talking about every time the Yankees would make the World Series. They needed that good luck charm of playing the Twins in the opening round. And I remember the stadium being indoor. So do you mean to tell me they had an indoor stadium?
And then went outdoor.
And then built an outdoor stadium? Minnesota, what in God's name are you doing?
Yeah,
this is why the Wild aren't rewarding you with a single playoff victory in decades. That's bad.
No retractable roof. Yeah, so it's a Wild outdoor game. But little rain, hopefully works out. Under 6.5. Streak-wise, it's done well. And hopefully a bit of a pitch count. Play 3 in the bag. Play 4.
Beautiful.
Late game. Back to the Seattle game. Let's go the Herbies. Josh Rojas under 1.5. 9-2. 9-2 to the under over his last 11 games. Projects for just 1.3. Bats in the bottom third. The Angels suck, but they actually have one of their better pitchers in Soriano on deck, so he could strike out a lot. And the best handicap for this is Soriano doesn't really get that deep, and Rojas doesn't face a lot of left-handed pitching. Right now, the Angels have 3 left-handed bullpen arms ready to go. So as soon as one of those guys goes in, there's a chance that Josh Rojas gets subbed out for, what would that be, a right-handed batter, because he's a left-handed batter and he doesn't face lefties. So a little bit of a scam, but minus 110 worth the price.
That's good. No, this is, I don't know, this is kind of what you need to do. Like, these are the baseball equivalents of just knowing how something operate, like some coaching style, some power play style works on the other team. You know, this goalie's awful moving laterally. This team on the power play is always doing cross seam one-time passes. Like, yeah, it's the baseball equivalent of that. It makes sense. If the guy is awful against lefties and you know lefties are coming out of the bullpen and the starter is pretty good and can get through those, through a couple times throughout the lineup, yeah, that's a solid snake. It's not like it's a bad price here. So
no, but like if he cashes in his first 2 at bats, like say he gets 2 plate appearances and cashes this, and then he gets pulled, like the handicap is still good. It just didn't work out. Like if you can project 2 plate appearances for a guy, that's amazing, because usually it's 3 or 4. But it is what it is. But they're hopefully they yank him. And I mean, 9-2 to the under is pretty showing for what kind of hitter Rojas is, especially in a market where a single and an RBI can cash the over.
And you're in a beautiful position. Like when I told you when things weren't, I don't know, one night or two when it wasn't going well, I just said, don't give me some watered ass down pick. Like, I got to give him this safe pick. Now is the polar opposite. I mean, I feel like you're seeing the whole field and you'll take anything. You'll take anything on the board. So maybe, I don't know, something tells me those Pirates going to be demanding some same game parlays in
they're for the weekend. Water. We've established that in the chat, in the Sniffs chat. They are solely for Saturdays and Sundays. We talk about, like, if keeping accounts alive is very important, right? Masking with SGPs is good for account longevity. SGPs
these
every
people-
day.
These
Not
people
great.
now are these people are ripping parlays, and now they're so happy to tell them, like, no, I gotta mask my account. No, that's just my masking that's my masking same game parlay. Trust me, everything I do is straight. Just I gotta mask the account or I'm gonna get limited. You now gave them free reign. Now they have a legitimate excuse to tell people, no, it's my masking same game parlay. Interestingly enough, I am gonna talk about that with someone when I was asked on the Patreon for the money management episode. So, I'm not managing my money. Look at. I mean, I got all sorts of shit in here that I
Mr.
probably
Beast
shouldn't.
reinvestment, bud.
Yeah, the Mr. Beast reinvestments, and we're gonna talk about. I'm gonna bring that up to him because this guy has gotten limited everywhere, and I'm gonna ask him. Couldn't just throw some decoy same game parlays in there, so we'll eventually get to that. But if you want some of those weekend picks or same game parlays or even the Friday picks, Thursday picks, Friday picks, and the weekend picks, Josh posts those on the Patreon. I try to help when I can, but as I told you since day one, I ain't gonna lie to you and say I got this great pick for you. We got NFL around the corner. We got NHL a little deeper around the corner. But until then, we just got baseball, which I currently hate, but at least Josh knows how to steal some money. So hopefully I guys see you over at the Patrons, patreon.com/Andy Francess. If not, we'll be back with you tomorrow for another episode of I Wish I Had a Studio Audience. I hate baseball. All right, everyone, take it easy.